Okay, so I had a client recently come in and swear she had worms. No, she did not. Here's the thing. There's a worm trend going around. You see it on all these social media sites. Please be careful with that. Here's the worms that you can get. Threadworm or pinworm is the most common one, and that's usually found in children. And how you get that is from unclean hands, cross-contamination on toys, bed cots, toilet seats, stuff like that. Pinworms are the most common. They're like little rice white worms. They're found in children or adults' poo. They can spread through the house if they're not treated and taken care of. And how they do that is children usually itch their private area. They crawl on the toilet seat, in the clothes, on the bed cot. They put them in their mouth, and then they digest them, and then they get them. They're also the most treated one. You can get Pin-X at, Walmart, CVS, Walgreens. The most natural way to treat that is through pumpkin seeds. My papa was Native American. His mom and his grandmother were 100% Native American. And when we were little, he used to give us pumpkin seeds to kill worm infestation when we were little. So yes, that's the most common one is a threadworm, which is also called a pinworm, and they're little white sticky worms, and they are transmittable through children most of the time through daycare, not cleaning their hands, not washing their hands. So make sure that your child or your child's daycare is sterilizing cots, the toilet seats, make sure the toys, to continue, to prevent cross contamination. But that's number one. Now, the other worms that humans get is hookworms, roundworms. Those are from outside animal feces, the stray animals, raccoons, cats, dogs in the yard. You get that from contaminated soil. Digging in the garden, putting your hands in your mouth accidentally, not washing your hands, walking around barefooted. I know we like to do that in the summertime, but be careful with that because you do risk the chance of getting a worm through there. You burrow in your skin. So, but they actually have a pattern to them. They look like a worm. They burrow through the skin and they have a worm pattern so that you would know if you had it because you would see it. It's not like little bitty marks, like little hives or little red bumps or acne, anything like that, or allergic reaction to something, insect bite. That's not what they look like. They literally look through a worm breaking through the skin, like a long worm, so they have a pattern. So that's that. The other one is a tapeworm. That's a more serious worm. You can get, you get that through food, contaminated food, not cooked properly, raw food such as sushi, fish, not washing your hands properly, contaminated raw food, not cooked properly. That's how you get that. And you would know that if you had that one, you would have bloody stool, stomach cramps, abdominal pain, diarrhea, throwing up, vomiting. You would lose massive weight. So you're going to know if you get that kind of worm because that's what those signs are. So, just make sure you're eating clean food, knowing where it's coming from, making sure that, it's cooked properly. Then always washing your hands, not walking barefooted outside. All these trends with drinking borax, please do not do that. Borax is great to soak in, detox, lemon juice, baking soda, borax, cleaning yourself with that in the bathtub with water, that's fine, but it's not something you should ingest. Please don't do that. You're going to let a kid ingest that, they're going to do it wrong, and that's going to cause some health issues, so please don't do that. I see that trend going around, and just be really careful with that. Also, if we have a lot of worm problems, we got a lot of unclean problems. So please, it's pretty much treatable. We don't have a lot of worm infestation here in America. A lot of other countries do, and for obvious reasons. Water contamination, soil contamination, unclean eating conditions, things like that. But here, it's very controllable. If you do the following things. Ringworm is not an actual worm. It is a fungus, and it is transmittable from human to human or from your animals. If they have it, they can get in your carpet, your flooring, your bedding, and you're rubbing against it, gets in your skin. It's an infection of the skin. It is not actual a worm. It's called that because of the ring pattern, like worm pattern, but it is not a worm. It's a fungus, and it's treatable as well. A lot of times if you're playing sports, especially wrestling, it gets on the mat, so, and transfers to person. So that's treatable, but that's actually not a worm. That is a fungus. Just be careful. And like I said, if your child does have pinworms, you can see it. They're real wiggly. They're not sleeping well at night. They're scratching themselves. You can see it in their poo. There's little white sticky rice worms. They're very easy. That's easy treated. You can treat it over the counter, or like I said, you can drink, I'm sorry, not drink, but you can eat pumpkin seeds, and pumpkin seeds is a natural way to get rid of worms like that. But also, if you do suspect that you have any of these things, you're going to know it. But if you do, always seek your healthcare professional's advice and just watch those things and don't let it get out of hand. It's treatable. It's easy. Wash your hands, clean yourself. Make sure your children are out walking around outside barefooted. You're not walking around outside barefooted and contaminated soil that could have feces in it and other problems. So other than that, but just be careful with these trends that are going around. People really don't have a whole lot of worms. It's not, if you do, it's easily treated, so just be careful with that. If you do feel like you have a tapeworm, you're going to know it. Like I said, you're going to feel awful, and you'll know it. It's not like little skins. Oh, I got these worms digging out of my body. That's not how that works. So please be careful with watching that kind of stuff. It's more for view ratings more so than actual fact. I hope you all stay well, and thank you. Bye.